one of the beautiful stories I came across years ago was a man born about 1930-ish, died about 2010, had an 80-year life, and his name's Bill Porter. I'm not sure you've heard of Bill Porter.
I don't think I have, no.
And it's such an incredible story because, well, when they finally heard and discovered his story, there was a movie made about him, and it was called Door to Door.
Okay.
And in the story, well, in his story, because we read the story, Tanya and I, before we saw the movie, and he was born with cerebral palsy. He had a lot of physical difficulties he had to cope with. When he moved a lot and he walked, he was in great pain. And he also had some sort of cognitive functions that weren't really working so well, so his speech was quite slurry. And he lived with his mother. I'm not sure they go into the story too much where the father was, but the mother was around.
Okay.
Late 20s, he said to his mom, I kind of need to get out there and do something in the world. And she's been quite protective of him.
Yeah, for obvious reasons.
But always very positive. And he said to her, I think I want to become a door-to-door salesman.
Oh, wow.
So the two key things you need to be door-to-door salesman, you need to be fit.
Correct.
Be able to walk a lot and speak clearly.
Which he couldn't do either.
He could do neither.
Right.
But, bless Mrs. Porter, she said to him, okay,
no limits.
let's do that. Exactly, no limits. So he put a CV together which couldn't have been more than 2 lines because he hadn't worked much in his life, maybe a little volunteering here and there, and he decided, okay, now he's going to get out there. So in order for him to go to all these interviews, there are plenty of door-to-door selling companies in those days. There wasn't Take a Lot and there wasn't the internet. We're talking the 1960s.
Yeah.
And he went, and she would take him, interview after interview, rejection after rejection. I mean, who's going to take on a guy with cerebral palsy? He's in pain when he walks, and he really kind of slurs his speech. And with the greatest respect, he wouldn't have been a fashion model either.
Correct.
And somebody took a chance on him.
Only takes one.
It does, eh? I mean, that's the story of your greatness. That's the one person.
Only takes
think
one.
of that teacher. Think of that soccer coach. Think of that friend, or the... In other cases, we go to friends and somebody's parent says something to you that just goes, wow, they see in me what nobody else sees.
Yeah.
Finally got the gig on the basis that the guy didn't think he was going to last more than a week on the gig and on the walk. But took him on, not through, I don't think through sympathy, but took him on because this guy had some fire in his eyes.
Yeah.
And of course, his mother would then start his weekly round, his morning by dropping off him in a certain neighborhood. And then she'd come and pick him up in the evening.
Wow.
And for the first, I remember the story correctly, because I love to go back and watch the movie again. I've read quite a bit about his story, obviously. And, no sales. I mean, you kind of look through the window. Those days, I don't even sure they had the peephole thing through the wooden doors. And there's this guy standing there with a beautifully suited up and a hat on, and now he's going to sell you something.
And crutches, no doubt. Or in a wheelchair, or...
He kind of, I think he had kind of help, walkers or whatever.
Yes, yeah.
And also kind of not that coherent.
Right.
So door after door slammed, or it didn't even open. Yeah. And he just had that one lady who opened the door, invited him for tea, and bought stuff. And then he got on a roll. And when he kind of had it down, the mother was going, no, you've started now you've got to keep going. And when she despaired, she'd see, her story goes, he's sitting in the car every evening, and she could immediately see him come from down the street. He's had a terrible day. He hasn't sold one damn piece of household good, or Hoover, as we used to know.
9 doors slammed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so the beautiful part was that, they'd G each other up, and he'd get out there again. Not quite sure the time frame. But then, because he was genuine, and because he was real, and because he was authentic, he then built up a most incredible clientele who would then call him to bring stuff around. He didn't have to knock on their door any longer. He worked for about 50 years. Yeah, apparently he almost worked till he died. In his 80s.
Wow.
with the pain in the back and the legs and all the other disadvantages. And he, for almost an infinite number of years, he was the country's top salesman.
Amazing.
Isn't that incredible?
That's amazing.
Well, anybody else with all the advantages and all the skill sets, he outperformed them month in, quarter out, year in, year out. And for me, the story is incredible that she saw greatness in him. So it's not a greatness story about him alone.
Correct.
And Bill, it's about his mother. And that's just something to keep in mind, that go and honor the people who just said something to you. That little teacher who said, you know what, you're so much better than this.
Correct.
Not messing around and go and get your whatever better grade or whatever. So before I get into a beautiful piece of writing from the angelic realm, Archangel Michael, and it talks about
favorite angel.
Greatness, and you'll love it. I just wanted to share, look out for what's kept you diminished. Look out for what's held you back. That word, I mean, those things you said earlier about, oh, you're going to amount to nothing, you know, and that was said of Steve Jobs, it was said of the great basketball players, and lots of people on the road going, not really, you don't kind of fit the mold. I mean, this guy didn't fit any salesman mold, didn't have the looks, didn't have, and to be carrying all that equipment around every day.
Yeah, well, you see, when you do something that is your passion, it cannot be a job. And that's what spurs you to greatness.